This brief exchange has gone viral because it perfectly captures the radically different paths these two rising stars' careers have taken. The video shows Jenna Ortega approaching Rachel Zegler with obvious enthusiasm and being completely dismissed as Rachel turns her head away, leaving Jenna standing there with an awkward smile and looking completely helpless. Jenna is friendly and engaging, trying to connect with her peer, while Rachel coldly turns away, leaving Jenna with nothing but a forced smile. That unpleasant exchange between two celebrities wasn't the only thing going on in Hollywood at the moment. It also symbolizes a conflict between honoring classic characters and totally reimagining them for contemporary viewers. This quiet conversation that was caught on camera aptly illustrates the widening gap in how up-and-coming actors are handling legendary roles. Characters can be entirely reimagined regardless of their established legacy, sometimes ignoring the very aspects that made them appeal to audiences for generations. On the one hand, there is the idea of preserving what made characters adored while adding something new. This tension concerns not only artistic disagreements, but also the core bond between performers and their supporters. Do you inform audiences that their nostalgia is out of date and needs to be corrected, as we shall see? Or do you appreciate the emotional bond viewers have with these characters? This brief moment of rejection between two of Hollywood's rising stars perfectly represents the two diverging paths their careers would take. Let's rewind a bit. Jenna Ortega wasn't always the household name. She'd been working steadily in the industry for years before landing her breakthrough role as Wednesday Addams. Unlike some stars who were handed major opportunities right away, Jenna put in the work building her resume and honing her craft step by step when she finally got her shot. At playing Wednesday Addams, she didn't just show up for the paycheck. According to insiders, Jenna deeply studied the original character and approached the role with genuine respect. She brought something fresh to Wednesday, while still honoring what made the character iconic in the first place. That dedication paid off big time. Wednesday became a global phenomenon and broke viewing records for Netflix. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler was catapulted to fame when she was cast as Maria in Spielberg's West Side Story, and then landed the coveted role of Snow White in Disney's live-action remake. It seemed like a dream start to a promising career, but things quickly took a turn as Snow White began production. During interviews, Rachel began making remarks that alarmed Disney executives. She called the 1937 animated classic strange and disregarded important aspects of the well-loved tale. Rachel stated in a particularly contentious interview that there's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her after the original animation debuted in 1937. Weird, she added. She continued by saying that her version of Snow White would prioritize becoming a leader over dreaming of true love. While this may seem progressive on paper, it totally ignores the reasons why Snow White has resonated with audiences for millennia. Compared to Jenna Ortega's approach to Wednesday, Rachel's admission that she was afraid of the original cartoon and claimed to have watched it once before never picking it up again was even more shocking to many fans. It felt like a slap in the face for an actress playing an iconic role while apparently showing disdain for the original material. Addams frequently expressed her admiration for the original and her wish to preserve what made Wednesday unique, even as she updated the character Jenna. There is no greater dramatic contrast. Behind closed doors, one actress rejected the legacy she was creating while another embraced it. According to reports, both actresses were contacted about a Disney animation project that was kept under wraps and called Blue Wave. Industry insiders claim that this ambitious movie was intended to be Disney's response to Shrek, uniting multiple fairy tale characters in a single universe. The project adopted a contentious strategy, primarily emphasizing gender-swapping traditional characters. When Jenna found out about the direction, she apparently expressed grave concerns in a rare instance of Hollywood candor. Jenna has voiced her opposition to the practice of gender-swapping well-known characters rather than developing fresh, powerful female characters. "I love that there's a lot more female leads nowadays. I think that's so special, but we should have our own," Jenna stated in a conversation. "I don't like it when it's a spin-off. I don't want to see like James Bond as a woman. I want to see just another badass." Tension between the two rising stars reportedly resulted from Jenna leaving Blue Wave due to her principled stance, choosing integrity over a sizable salary, while Rachel was reportedly completely on board with the project's direction. As Snow White's production issues increased as a result of Rachel's contentious remarks and mounting backlash, the disparity between their approaches became even more apparent. Disney faced increasing pressure. The film's budget reportedly ballooned to over $200 million, making it one of the most expensive fairy tale adaptations ever made. Yet despite the massive investment, insider reports suggested the studio was deeply concerned about the film's prospects. Those concerns proved justified when Snow White finally released. Despite IMAX screens and a massive marketing push, the film struggled to connect with audiences. Critics called it soulless, and fans stayed away in droves. In its second weekend, box office numbers collapsed by over 50%, a disaster for a film with such a massive budget. Meanwhile, Jenna Ortega's star continued to rise. While Rachel was dealing with the Snow White fallout, Jenna was taking risks with projects like Death of a Unicorn, an R-rated horror comedy with Paul Rudd, though not breaking box office records. These choices were building Jenna a reputation as a serious actress with impressive range. But here's where Rachel's troubles really began following Snow White's disappointing performance. According to industry sources, Rachel started having trouble finding new jobs because studios were reluctant to employ her because they were worried that her divisive remarks would turn off viewers. Many people perceive this as a desperate effort. As a comic book fan, I would like to throw my hat in the ring to voice Shara Bay, mother of Padamaran, because her ship was a RZ1, my initials, Rachel posted when she publicly campaigned for a role in the Star Wars universe, using the strange justification that her initials RZ matched a RZ-1 A-Wing starfighter from Star Wars lore. Fans swiftly ridiculed this reasoning, viewing it as an obvious and somewhat desperate attempt to get a part in a major franchise. Serious actors typically don't campaign for roles by pointing out coincidental initial matches. They let their work speak for itself. The last straw was Rachel's reported dismissal from Paddington 3, with the official explanation citing scheduling conflicts brought on by the actor's strike. However, industry insiders pointed out that many other SAG actors were still involved in the project, and the fact that it happened immediately following the Snow White controversy raised the possibility that there was more to the story. When Rachel posted about Free Palestine on social media during a particularly critical time in Middle Eastern affairs, she received both support and a lot of reaction. While performers undoubtedly have a right to voice their political opinions, Rachel's actions further muddled matters. In sharp contrast, Jenna Ortega has thoughtfully discussed the intersection of Hollywood and politics, pointing out that the industry's focus on being politically correct occasionally results in a loss of humanity and integrity because it lacks honesty. However, the timing and style of her remarks caused further controversy surrounding an already troubled career. Jenna has been able to steer clear of Rachel's divisive reaction thanks to this controlled approach. When Jenna was reportedly offered a role in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean revival, she turned it down, demonstrating once again that she chooses roles based on artistic merit rather than just large salaries or franchise potential. While Rachel finds it difficult to land new projects and copes with the fallout from Snow White, the industry has noticed their divergent paths. Jenna remains one of Hollywood's most sought-after young actresses. She has achieved both financial success and industry esteem as a result of her moral convictions and careful approach to her work. What's even more remarkable is how quickly their fortunes have turned around. 2 years ago, Rachel appeared ready for superstardom with back-to-back major roles, while Jenna was still establishing her career with smaller projects. Today, Jenna has become a cultural icon, especially among younger viewers who value her authenticity, while Rachel faces a difficult time repairing her reputation. According to unnamed studio insiders close to Disney, executives were particularly irritated by what they perceived as Rachel's lack of gratitude for the opportunity she had been given. When you're cast as an iconic Disney princess, there's an unwritten rule that you become an ambassador for that character. One unnamed studio insider Mitchell's remarks made that impossible. In the meantime, the Wednesday crew has apparently been ecstatic with Jenna's dedication to her role. Not only did she become an expert cello player and fencer for the part, but she also battled backstage to keep Wednesday loyal to her dark macabre roots when some producers proposed lightening the character to appeal to a wider audience. This basic contrast and strategy has made for an intriguing case study for aspiring Hollywood actors, as Rachel appeared to present herself as someone who wished to correct troublesome classics. Instead of advocating for a revolution, Jenna supported evolution. The outcomes are self-evident. Industry insiders point out that Rachel overlooked something important. Consumers watch Snow White for the timeless fairy tale aspects rather than for contemporary political message. The lovely animation and, yes, the romance, by discounting these essential components as problematic or out of date. There's also a lesson here about the power of authenticity. In many interviews, Jenna comes across as truly herself, thoughtful, occasionally awkward, but always honest when she criticizes industry trends. It feels rooted in artistic integrity rather than political posturing. Rachel unintentionally dismissed the very audiences she needed to win over. Rachel, on the other hand, has occasionally been accused of making theatrical claims to project an image of progressivism that come across as staged rather than genuine. There is nothing wrong with having strong political opinions, according to some industry analysts, and Rachel's strategy reflects a broader trend in Hollywood where some performers see their careers as platforms for advocacy rather than storytelling. When entertainment at its foundation needs to entertain a truth that sounds apparent but is occasionally neglected in the haste to appear current, audiences can tell when a performance is taking a backseat to making a point. What's really intriguing is that, despite having significant social media followings, the two actresses use these channels rather differently. Jenna gives tidbits about her life and career without creating a fabricated issue. Rachel's posts have occasionally appeared to be timed to create headlines, which may have worked at first, but may have backfired as people's perceptions changed from being brave and outspoken to being challenging and unappreciative of the video moment that initiated this discussion. The fact that Rachel ignored Jenna takes on even greater significance now that you can see from their body language that Jenna was sincerely attempting to connect, whereas Rachel's contemptuous turn away felt symbolic of how she abandoned the legacy of the character she was playing. That one moment perfectly captures the essence of their divergent approaches to fame. It's important to note that Jenna has been involved in her own scandals, such as reports of arguments with Wednesday producers and criticism for filming while ill during the pandemic. However, she has fared better during these times because she has developed a network of supporters and business leaders who are more inclined to give you the benefit of the doubt when you are respected for your profession and are known for your professionalism. Casting directors have noticed as well, there's a reason Jenna continues to land these intriguing, challenging jobs, according to one casting director who asked to remain anonymous. Directors know she'll work hard and appreciate the content, which is very important in this industry, and Rachel has followers. While some industry voices have defended her, arguing that she was unfairly blamed for Snow White's problems when the true problems were with the script and directing, others draw attention to the fact that, at the age of 23, she is still establishing herself in the field.